They are a critical link in the ecosystem, but often poisoned by poachers to prevent them from alerting authorities to their illegal activities.
We are currently facing an African vulture crisis. Now that means we could lose some of our species within the next 10 to 12 years. That poisoning was devastating. You're looking at about 100 odd, potentially all adult African whiteback vultures. Now that means because vultures pair and mate for life, you're looking at 100 breeding pairs which is lost. And for a critically endangered species, it is just not sustainable.
Vultures reach sexual maturity at 5 to 7 years old, and breeding success rate from egg to adult is only 5%. Losing breeding pairs due to poisoning has devastating consequences.
The impact's huge. I mean, just the birds that were in Mozambique, that doesn't mean that those birds actually were living or breeding in Mozambique. You're probably looking at a lot of those birds coming from Kruger National Park, foraging inside of Mozambique. So until we stop the poaching epidemic, very little can be done. You know, the latest poisoning has affected birds throughout the entire Southern Africa region.
Vulpro Vulture Rehabilitation Center plays a vital role in helping save and rehabilitate these endangered vulture species.
We're on the ground. We're groundbreaking. We're putting back vultures back into the wild, what is lost through rehabilitation, through conservation breeding. So we are trying to reduce the losses by putting back out there. Of course, we need to mitigate the threats because you can't keep putting vultures back into a black pit. So we're also working with organizations, other NGOs, government in order to mitigate threats, looking at education to try and reduce poisoning, for example.
Poisoning is the most significant threat to vultures, and over the last 30 years it has contributed to the decline of 80% of African vulture species. This rehabilitation center is trying hard to turn numbers around and prevent some vulture species of becoming extinct. Scheier, CGTN, Hartbeespoort, South Africa.